Howdy, welcome back. If you're returning, if you're new, hello. Howdy, welcome back. So we've been really busy out here on the farm, and that has caused me to fall off as far as how I said I was gonna maybe start doing farm vlogs. Yeah, we had some stuff happen, and all of that just kind of wasn't possible at the time. Now that we've kind of caught back up with ourselves, we can continue. I did promise some of y'all to show y'all the block off plate. However, I've decided to go a completely different route. So I'll still go over it with you in case it's something you want to maybe do and figure out for yourself. But it's super simple, and it's literally just a temporary placeholder. But it works because it's still on there, and I've gone to Florida and back with it. So anyways, and I'm in North Carolina, so it's a decent trip. But I have upgraded the seat. This is the seat that I upgraded from stock. And since I've gone with the T-bars, my riding position has changed. My whole riding style has actually changed since I went with this seat. So I guess a little background, I came off of a street glide, which I was on a Dyna, on a wide glide before that. So I've always had like that. The wide glide's like the touring Dyna, you know? And so I've always had like that touring feel and that touring want, because when I was on the Dyna, I was doing 3, 4, 5 hour rides regularly. Even did like a couple 8 to 10 hour rides on it. Transitioned to the street glide, and now I'm doing even longer rides. I actually rode the street glide from here to Texarkana, and then from Texarkana to Paris, Texas for the Adam Sandoval thing. So that was 14 and a half hours that it took me to ride. It was just over 1,050 miles, because I did it all in one shot. I didn't, do what most people would have done, like leave at noon, stop in Georgia, and then do like another trip, another day, another state or two. No, I just did it all. I left here at like 12:30 midnight, and I got to Texas at like 4:30 due to like the time changes, of course. Like it's 14 and a half hours. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, so I upgraded the seat because I was starting to build this bike into like a long distance cruiser. Then some things started happening, started really enjoying riding the bike around here a lot more, like the tighter turns in the back road, like twisty back roads. And because of the Road Glide, it's probably one of the most practical bikes that they have, other than maybe a Road King, which just doesn't have the big fairing, for some of those who don't care about the music, navigation, or whatever else. I'm just bougie. I literally have heated grips on it and navigation, touchscreen, all that stuff, because I'm bougie and I can. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Half the time I don't pay attention to any of it, and half the time I forget to use the heated grips. So there you go. Just get on one and ride. So I really started liking riding around here, and the whole like long distance motorcycle thing, I just think it's done. I like the tripping, I like the long distance, but I feel like there's other ways to do it. There's actually a really, really big announcement coming up. So you stay tuned for that. I'm actually going to keep y'all updated on it because it's pretty big for me. So stay updated on that, and make sure, by the way, that you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. But yeah, so getting back into the content game now that everything is starting to fall back into somewhat of a rhythm. So just wanted to go ahead and take that little moment to throw all that out there. Okay, so back to the seat. I did go with the Saddlemen San Diego Customs Pro Series. For one, the seat just had everything that I wanted. I really like the Saddlemen step-up seat. But this one having the little lumbar support, I don't even consider it a backrest. I consider it a lumbar support. And I think that is absolutely perfect, because right on that first little notch, because it's adjustable, it's got like 3 different detents all the way down, and then the little backrest has these two holes. You take this pin, pop it out. You want it to be lower or higher, you know, and then you just pop it back down in there. And Bob's your uncle. Like I said, stay tuned because got a big announcement coming up, and it's probably gonna make a lot more sense why I don't want to be set up for a long distance. So I was talking before about how I had planned some content that had ended up getting pushed back and put on the back burner because of the things that I will further explain after. One of those things was I bought a project motorcycle. It's a 93 Dyna. And really the only thing that was wrong with it was the gas tank was rusted on the inside. And the guy didn't have the time or the money to buy a new one. Didn't have the time to fix this one or the money to buy a new one. So yeah, have to mess with some settings. I'll be right back. Ta-da! This is my motorcycle project. 93 Dyna, 80 cubic inch Evo. Yeah, the Dyna lowrider, got an 80-inch Evo motor. I think it's a tank. Only thing that's really wrong with the bike is gas tank, like I said, has some rust in it. But as far as all the other tins go, they're in decent condition. You know, no major dents, a little bit of like scuffs from years of riding. I'm not mad at that. You rode the bike. Good job. I'm not mad at that. But yeah, no major dents, no major scratches. Everything can either be buffed out, or if I go the route of repainting, which I probably will not affect the new paint. On to the reasons everything has taken so long. Okay, so remember before how I said there were a few reasons. Yeah. One of the reasons was we got some emus. We went to go get two, and turns out they had one from the hatchling before. It was kind of a runt, and the mom tried to kill her. Broke her beak off, the bottom part, half of her beak. It was just like bent down, so we ended up getting that trimmed off, and she's been doing fine ever since. She's super goofy, has a great personality. They're all kind of silly, but right now you can see they're just kind of chilling. And it's the funniest way that they sit down because, you know, their legs are, you know, jointed backwards. So we also had another unexpected thing happen that day. There was a Nubian goat born the day before, or the night before actually, and they didn't even know the mother was pregnant because she was so old, and once he was born, she wasn't producing milk. So they were just like, well, do you think y'all can handle it? And so here's Butterbean. Here's all the other ladies. But here's Butterbean. Butterbean's a sweetheart. This is what he wants. He likes to come out here and got to pull the limbs down so he can get the leaves. Of course, they get jealous. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so for everybody who is interested in this block-off plate, here it is. I've since decided to go a different route. Just because it doesn't work for me, doesn't mean it's not going to work for you or whatever you might have in mind. Sheet metal tin. That's what I used to make the little template. I had to make like 2 or 3 because I just kept seeing things different. The first one, all of this was just straight edges and sharp. Second one, I didn't add tabs. So this is like the third one. things are rolled over, so that way if it does make contact with the bars or any of these cables or lines, it doesn't cut, fray, or scratch anything. Also over here, you see this little ear that I added just so I can use the stock screw and screw holes to keep it on there. But like I said, I was planning on making something a little bit sturdier right here so that I could mount my Power Vision. But I've decided to go a completely different route. This, you know, however flimsy it may seem, I rode down to Florida for Bike Week from North Carolina. Never had any problems with this fluttering, buffeting, or anything. Just because, you know, down here, there's not really a lot of air coming from behind it. So there's not really anything causing it to buffet and make noise or scratch anything up. So if this is all you want, was something to block that off, you can definitely do this. Maybe roll this edge over, make it look a little bit better, spray paint it whatever color. I mean, granted, this does kind of match the bike, so kind of a small W there. But, you know, whatever color your bike is, or if you just want to do the black to match the inside of the fairing, you could always do that. I have decided to just go ahead and just remove that whole piece because I'm planning on fabricating a mount to attach to the neck to hold my Power Vision, and, you know, probably have it set at like an angle similar to that, not completely flat and looking out, but, you know, just so that way when it's off, it'll be a little bit more inconspicuous. Passerbys with prying eyes won't be able to see it as much, but, you know, I'll probably just end up taking it off when I'm not on the bike anyways. Lock it in the saddlebag or something. But that would definitely be a better place for it to be, so it's not blocking this or just, you know, looking kind of weird sitting way up here. I think it'd be a lot more sleek down out of the way. But since there were so many people that were interested in this, I decided to go ahead and make a video because, like I said, just because it doesn't work for me and my plans have changed, it might work for you, and then, or possibly be a good starting point for you to better fabricate it to your own liking. But there you go. All right, well, I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching the video, getting to this point. Those of you who made it to this point. Like I said, and like y'all saw, there's going to be a lot of content coming up, so keep up to date on that. Going to be probably a task in and of itself transitioning the emus to the pasture so they're not stuck in that little pen because they are growing so fast. So it's going to be a thing. You know, Butterbean's just going to be Butterbean. Really want to get started on the Dyna, working on the Dyna soon. But until then, just keep up to date on the socials. I'll post links to Twitter, TikTok, and my Twitch. If y'all want to just ask, have a live conversation, hop into Twitch. If you're a gamer nerd like me, hop into Twitch. But yeah, till then, y'all get out of here, and I will see y'all next time.
I was bleeding, nothing to believe in, leaving all my pressure and mistakes. Wanted better, nothing to remember, so I'm freeing up my brain. Take me flying, bring